Hey guys, Hawaiian Shaman here, your coach of the Southeast Shamans, and welcome to our Week 5 team builder for the Royal Draft League. This week we're going to be going up against Monty, the coach of the London Love Discs. He's a good friend of mine. He helps me team prep sometimes. He's part of a small group that we like to team prep with each other. He's an awesome guy, an awesome battler, and he's got a scary team, guys. And this match is going to be really exciting because he knows my team really well and I know his team really well. And we know how we each like to prep. So this is going to be really, really interesting to see how it all turns out. But before we begin, just a little heads up. Sorry about the short hiatus on the channel as far as content goes. I've had a lot of things going on just in like my personal life. I've had a lot of tech issues and setup issues, and it just all came together within this like past week in like a sort of perfect storm situation. Which made it really, really difficult. But I'm back now. If you're seeing this, when you're seeing this, sorry, it's going up on Wednesday, and the battle's also going to be going up right after this team builder goes up on Wednesday. And starting today, the schedule is going to resume the same as it was before. So Friday, with a little tweak. So this Friday, to make up for last week's no cage lock episodes. This Friday, you guys will have two cage lock episodes on my channel. Sunday, you will have the other two cage lock episodes on Francis's channel, and then we will resume back into the normal Mondays team builder, Wednesdays the battle, Friday cage lock on my channel, and then Sunday cage lock on Francis's channel. And we're gonna get right back to that really soon. So thank you guys so much for sticking with me. Thank you so much for being patient. And I really appreciate and love you guys. It means a lot to me. Now let's get into this ridiculously scary team that Monty has. Starting off, he has just a little heads up, guys. He has like a like a miniature sand team going on here, which is really, really threatening. So starting off, he has an Excadrill, the main offensive pressure for a sand team. He has really, really powerful Mon, Earthquake and Iron Head, dual stab is a great offensive move type coverage. Really, really powerful. I guess Sand Rush, so it doubles its speed in the sand. It can substitute. It can Swords Dance, or it can be more like utility, and it can set up rocks, and it can rapid spin. It's just a really, really scary mon, guys. Those get Sand Force and Mold Breaker, two other awesome abilities. But more than likely, I believe he brings Sand Rush. Next up, to go along with the Excadrill, he has Mega Tyranitar. An absolutely ridiculously good Mega. I always forget how good its stats are until I see it, but it has ridiculous attack stat, a ridiculous defense stat, a ridiculous special defense stat. And it's just an absolute beast. It can be support, it can set up stealth rocks and stuff like that, or it can like D-dance sweep, but its main purpose is to set up the sand for the Excadrill. Next up, he has a Galarian Weezing, his one and only fairy type, and his one and only poison type, actually, which will become prevalent later. And he can either run Levitate, so he's immune to ground type moves, eliminate one of his weaknesses completely, or he can run Misty Surge, and I really believe that he will be running Misty Surge just because of his next mon, which we'll get to later. But Galarian Weezing, it Will-O-Wisps, it Pain Splits, it can set up T-Spikes, it can Sludge Bomb and Strange Steam and all that sort of stuff. But like the main thing there is it's only fairy type, so I really think he brings it because of my Haxorus. And then it also sets up the Misty Terrain for his next mon, which is Hawlucha. Another incredibly scary mon with Unburden and the Misty Terrain. He can bring Misty Seed, activate the Seed Misty Terrain, get the Unburden boost, Swords Dance up, and just do so much work. I'm so scared of the Hawlucha, guys. I really think it's coming. Actually, these first four mons that I just listed, I really, really think are coming this week. The Excadrill, the Mega Tyranitar, the Galarian Weezing, and the Hawlucha just together, I really think are coming. Hawlucha doesn't really need more than Swords Dance, Close Combat, and Acrobatics. It doesn't need more than that, guys, to just absolutely wreck my team. But we do have contingencies in place for that, so do not worry. We have a plan, but if that plan goes sideways, there isn't really much we can do about a Hawlucha sweep. Next up, he does have a Darmanitan, another ridiculously powerful mon. Sheer force boosted flare blitzes on this mon are absolutely ridiculous. Put that with a choice scarf, or even worse, a choice band, and I don't have anything that really takes it that well. As you can see on the screen already, Miltank is there. That is Miltank's main job is to switch into Darmanitan, because I really have nothing else for it. Next up, he has an Araquanid. I don't think the Araquanid is coming just because I have a Raikou and a Togekiss, which has put in so much work these past few weeks. So I really don't think it comes, but if it does come, it's probably just Sticky Webs, Water Move, Bug Move, and Grass type move. That's pretty much it. If it comes, its main job will probably be for Sticky Webs, and that's about it. Although I really don't think it comes. Next up, he has another abuser in Garchomp, which, if you guys remember, I used to have Garchomp and I dropped it for Haxorus, and then he picked up I actually recommended that he pick up Garchomp once I dropped it because it really fits well with his team. It's his only Dragon type, and just the Earthquake and Outrage coverage is phenomenal. Has a great speed tier. It's a good Scarfer. And it also gets Sand Veil, so I will be missing moves. Great, I love that. As you guys probably know, I miss a lot of like 90% moves, 95% moves. I've missed probably more Leech Seeds than I've landed. It's absolutely ridiculous, guys. Before we continue, by the way, in case you've gotten up to this point, please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. We do a lot of this content. We have Cage Lock. We're going to have a new solo series coming up soon. And I am currently on the road to 50 subscribers. We're at 25 right now. We're halfway there, so let's try to get there, y'all. But yeah, please hit that like button. It helps a lot. I know you guys hear that a lot from every YouTuber you watch, but hitting the like button really does help. And even if you want to like hit the dislike button after you watch the video because you didn't like it, that's perfectly fine. But just please hit the like button now. I would really appreciate it. Thank you. Now continuing. Next up, another ridiculously strong Mon. He has a Cresselia, one of the bulkiest Mons in the universe. It is so hard to take down a Cresselia. I really don't have many answers to it. My hope is to just get Miltank in there and Toxic it before I can like sub up or anything like that. I don't think he brings like just strictly Psychic. I think he probably brings Moonblast along with it. Probably, I'd say. Um, if not, I'm thinking. Sorry, guys. I'm just like thinking at a million miles an hour right now. He probably brings like Psychic, Moonblast, Calm Mind, Moonlight, something like that. Maybe Psychic and Toxic. I don't think he has enough room on his in his 4 move slots for substitute this week. But we will see. Yeah, cause he definitely has to bring another move than Psychic, cause I have Drapion. No, he definitely has to bring Psychic and Moonblast, and then 2 other moves. I have probably a setup move and a healing move. I don't think he brings sub this week, guys. So the goal is to Toxic the Cresselia and just kill it like that. That's the way we're doing it this week. And also I have other strats that we'll get into later on. But next up, he has a Thundurus Incarnate, which is another extremely annoying mon because it has Prankster Thunder Waves and taunts and setup moves. And as you can see, he has like really, really great synergy, guys. Like a lot of his, like he has so many things. He has like a lot of his offensive pressure is weak to ground. His Excadrill, his Mega Tyranitar, his Darmanitan, Wheezing if it doesn't have Levitate, but then he also has so many ground immunities. Wheezing with Levitate, the Hawlucha, the Cresselia with Levitate, and then the Thundurus Incarnate, another flying type. It's just absolutely ridiculous how well put together this team is. But the Prankster Thunder Waves could be a really, really big issue. I definitely think he brings the Thundurus just to stop any potential sweeps by Thunder Waving before I can move. Or maybe taunting to stop any setups. Probably brings it to taunt like my Miltank, so I can't just like Milk Drink and Heal Bell and all that. And then his last one is a Caterpie. It's like a running joke in the group that we're a part of, the small group, that he's gonna he's gonna bring Caterpie to championships. That Caterpie's the greatest Mon of all time, and that one day he will sweep with it. We shall see, but I don't think that week is this week, guys. I don't. He doesn't bring the Caterpie. If I had to guess what he brings out of these, he brings the Excadrill, the Mega T-Tar, Galarian Weezing, Hawlucha, Thundurus, and then either Darmanitan or Cresselia, I'd have to say. If he doesn't bring the Cresselia, I will be so happy. But then the Darmanitan comes, and that would be really, really scary. So yeah, that's his team, guys. A really, really scary team, but we have some strategies going on here. So let's get into it right now. First up, as you can see, is Bluebell the Miltank coming back again with leftovers, thick fat ability for that Darmanitan, purely for that Darmanitan. This is my Darmanitan switching. And you might think, if it's your Darmanitan switching, why is it not? Never mind. Ignore that I just said that. I thought I read 252 special defense. I made this team a really long time ago, guys, so bear with me. Yes, this is my main Darmanitan switching. My main just physical threat switching. Max HP, max physical defense, impish nature, with a really cool moveset in Earthquake, Power Up Punch, Milk Drink, and Toxic. I don't do anything to Cresselia besides Toxic it. I don't do anything to Hawlucha besides possibly Toxicking it. But that's fine because Hawlucha's gonna kill me anyway, and I can Toxic the Cresselia, and that's the main strat for Cress anyway. But everything else, besides maybe like the Araquanid, doesn't really like this whole setup thing here. Earthquake and Power Up Punch really deals with his main offensive core in Excadrill, T-Tar, and Darmanitan really, really well, because if the T-Tar's in there, I can get finish him off with a Power Up Punch. I'm +1 now, and I can start Earthquaking things. I can Earthquake the Weezing, I can Earthquake the Darmanitan and the Excadrill. Or I can just keep Power Up Punching and keep getting those attack boosts. And it can be really, really good. And then Milk Drink just for general recovery and Toxic. This might not be the greatest set that I could bring this week, but in certain situations it works really, really well. So I'm excited to try it out. And yeah, of course, Bluebell the Miltank will always be shiny. Next up, we have Natsu the Infernape coming back again. Natsu the Infernape is here with a really, really unique set, actually. Iron Fist, Focus Sashed, Jolly Nature, yes, absolutely shiny, max attack, max speed, for special defense with Endeavor, Close Combat, Mach Punch, and Stealth Rocks. This is the beginning of one of the big strats here, guys. This is the one Stealth Rocks. I really, really want Stealth Rocks up. It really, really helps with the Darmanitan and the Thundurus, just for general chip damage. And as you can see, the hazards are going to play a big part in this. And then no fire move, because I really, really don't need a fire move for his team, because anything that a fire move does, a fighting move does better, and it covers more. So Close Combat for just general huge damage, and then Endeavor and Mach Punch. This is one of my ways to potentially stop a Hawlucha that is sweeping, or a Cresselia that's at +3 Calm Minds or Cosmic Powers, and I just need to keep Infernape at full health at all possible, and I just get it in a clean switch. He tries to kill me, I live on 1, I go for Endeavor. Doesn't matter how many Cosmic Powers you have up Cresselia, your health is going down to the lowest possible amount, and then I Mach Punch you. Same with the Hawlucha. You can get 4 Swords Dances up on me, you try to kill me, I live on 1, I go for Endeavor, you're down to 1, Mach Punch kills you. It's basically the same thing for pretty much anything. Any of his really big setup sweepers that are sort of trying to run train through my team, Infernape can stop it as long as it's at full health. The Sand sort of screws with this strat though, if I'm against the T-Tar or the Excadrill or the Garchomp. But if the Sand is up when I'm against the Crest and I go for Endeavor and I die to Sand, the Crest is dying to Sand too. Unless Leftovers goes before Sand. I'm gonna have to double check that. But yeah, so the Sand sort of messes with this, but it can be really, really cool and in particular situations, and it might stop him from sweeping my team with Hawlucha or Crest. So it's really, really important. Next up we have Rose Gold the Ferrothorn with the Choppleberry to stop the another way to stop the Hawlucha. He tries to go for close combat. I live a +2 close combat, by the way. It does about like 86% to me max, I believe, if he's adamant max attack +2. Um, Impish Nature, max HP, max physical defense, Iron Barbs. Tropical Berry is a good way for me to again get extra chip damage on the Hawlucha if it tries to sweep me. I'm really worried about a Hawlucha sweep if you guys haven't noticed already. With Spikes, Leech Seed, Iron Head, and Knockoff. Don't really need a grass type move. His only water type is the Araquanid, and it's neutral. His only ground types are the Garchomp and the Excadrill. It's also neutral on those, so I'd rather just have Iron Head and Knockoff to knock off any big items. Leech Seed is there for just some general recovery if I predict a switch. And then Spikes. I'm really hoping to get Spikes up, guys, because Spikes does, like, I know he has like a lot of mons that are above the ground, and before a knockoff used to be Gravity, which I thought was going to be really, really cool. So all his flying moves get pushed onto the ground, so it gets hit by Spikes and Toxic Spikes, which you will see later. But then I decided knockoff, like Gravity is like very, very situational, and I just knockoff will just be overall better. But the Spikes are there because it really helps again with the Darmanitan switching in and out, and stuff like helps with the Excadrill and the T-Tar. And just all those, and the Galarian Wheezing if it's Misty Surge, because then it's not levitating over the ground. So yeah, and then just yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just for just general annoyance, getting Spikes up, Leech Seeding things, Iron Heading the Galarian Wheezing. It's my main Galarian Wheezing switch-in. Next up we have Scorpio the Drapion, Black Sludge, not shiny, doesn't need to be. His shiny really isn't that great. Battle armor, didn't need sniper for this. I just really don't want to get crit. 4 HP, max attack, max physical defense. I did max physical defense instead of max HP because most of his mons are physical attackers. Besides the Thundurus and the Crest and the Galarian Wheezing, but like his main like threats are all physical attackers. The Excadrill, the T-Tar, the Hawlucha, the Darmanitan, the Araquanid, and in some cases. So I just thought just go full physical defense instead of just putting it in the HP to really make sure that I'm really bulky. And then max attack with Toxic Spikes, Knockoff, Brick Break, and Whirlwind. Toxic Spikes are going to be really, really useful. And you might say, why are you going to bring Toxic Spikes? If he brings Misty Surge, Galarian Wheezing, he's going to absorb the Toxic Spikes. And his Excadrill is a Steel type, and he has so many Levitating Mons. You're right. You're right on all accounts. But Toxic Spikes really help just whittle things down if he doesn't bring the Wheezing, especially. And it's just for general chip damage, and honestly, I really didn't see another move that I would rather put on Drapion. So Toxic Spikes might come in handy. You know, they're not like a huge priority, but if I can get them up, if I at least one, that chip damage could be really, really useful. Then just knock off just for general dark type coverage, knocking off items, potential scarfs, and all that. Brick Break for the T-Tar mostly. And then Whirlwind. Whirlwind is really cool because, again, as you can see, we have Stealth Rocks, Spikes, and Toxic Spikes. So if I can start whirlwinding people around and just getting that chip damage up, that's going to be really, really useful for, like, my next two mons that you'll see here to come in and sweep. Because as you can see, none of these 4 mons are sweepers, but the next 2 are, and you will see that soon. But yeah, and also the Whirlwind is I can live with the max defense instead of max HP. I can live a +2 close combat from a Hawlucha, with about like 10% left. And then I can just Whirlwind him away. I can Whirlwind away the Cresselia if it's like +3 and has a sub up, and I can just get it out of there. I can Whirlwind away the Excadrill if he tries to go for. If I see the Excadrill, I'm most likely not staying in, but in a situation where I need to, and he thinks he can be greedy, and go for like a sub or a Swords Dance because he thinks I can't really do anything to him, I can just Whirlwind him out, and then he comes back and he takes more Spikes damage and more Stealth Rocks damage. That's sort of the thing, guys. Just chip everything out down with the rocks and the spikes and the toxic spikes and the leech seeds. And then his sand isn't going to be helping him either with like a lot of his mons. And then my next two mons can come in and sweep. One of them being Guillotine the Haxorus. This right here is my main sweeper, guys. Shiny, of course. Lumberry, because I feel like his main answer to Haxorus, if my Haxorus starts to try and sweep, will be Thunderous. And you're gonna ask why Thunderous? Because a Prankster Thunderwave, he will get a Thunderwave off before I can outspeed and kill him, and that would be really really annoying, guys. And I don't want that to happen. But also the Lumberry is there just in case I accidentally get Will-O-Wisp by the Galarian Wheezing or poisoned by a Sludge Bomb, and if none of those happen, it cures the confusion from my Outrage once, and I don't have to worry about that. But yeah, Mold Breaker, because Earthquake can hit the Cresselia, but more importantly, Earthquake can hit the Galarian Wheezing if it is Levitate and not Misty Surge. So very very important there. Max attack, max speed, Adamant Nature, Dragon Dance, Outrage, Earthquake, and X Scissor. Dragon Dance is just there to set up. Outrage is there just for general Dragon type, just bombs hitting. Besides his Galarian Wheezing, nothing else resists the Earthquake, the Outrage, besides the Excadrill. And even so, Excadrill is not the bulkiest of Mon, so it still takes about 50% from like a +1 Outrage. And then Earthquake there for general coverage. Hits the Excadrill, hits the Darmanitan, hits the Tyranitar, hits the Galarian Wheezing. Earthquake's mostly for the Galarian Wheezing, guys, because Outrage does like pretty good to most things anyway, if without having to worry about clicking Earthquake and then switching into one of his flying mons. And then X Scissor. X Scissor is mainly there for the Cresselia. At +1, I do about 40% to a max HP, max physical defense Cresselia. Which you might say, well, they can just heal up that damage. And yes, they can. But when they try to heal up that damage, I can just go for another Dragon Dance, and then I'm doing about 55% to the Cresselia, and they can't heal that off. They can't heal stall me with that. And so I'm really, really hoping that Haxorus can just sweep and get a lot of kills. The main plan is for Haxorus to be in the back, mostly, and just brought out late game, get a free switch and get a Dragon Dance up, and just clean up whatever's left over from the constant spikes and toxic spikes and stealth rocks. However, if I don't see the Wheezing, which I highly doubt I don't see the Wheezing, because I have a Haxorus, and his only fairy type is the Wheezing. So I really, really severely doubt I really severely doubt that he doesn't bring the Wheezing. But if he doesn't bring the Galarian Wheezing, I might just lead Haxorus, and just try to Dragon Dance right off the bat and just start hitting things. That might be the plan. Just to really scare him, deal a ton of damage right off the bat, leave him shaken up, and then start cleaning things up with the rest of my mons. That might be the strat if I don't see the Wheezing. But if I see the Wheezing, Guillotine the Haxorus will be in the back, and I'll bring him out late game for him to just clean up. That's the main strat. And then finally, our team kill leader right now for this season is Loxus the Raikou. I forgot to give him a nickname, as you can see there, but I will give him a nickname, don't worry. But it is going to be Loxus the Raikou. Choice Scarfed Raikou, with the pressure ability, and a pretty unique EV set there. 100 defense, 252 max special attack, 4 in special defense, and 152 in speed. I put it again in defense and not HP because most of his mons are physical attackers, and it might let me take a close combat better, might let me take a Flare Blitz better. Who knows? But I am Choice Scarfed because I don't want to be outsped by things. I don't know. It's just like a backup, It's a backup in case he gets like a rock polish up, or if he scarfed Excadrill instead of Sand Rush Excadrill. I don't know why that he would do that, but just in case, Choice Scarf is just sort of there as like a preventative measure. With the pressure ability, as you can see, the EV set there. Timid Nature with Discharge for that Paras. You guys know I love the paralyzed things. With Aura Sphere for the Tyranitar and the Excadrill. Hidden Power Ice for the Garchomp. This is another thing that Choice Scarf Raikou outspeeds Choice Scarfed Garchomp. And then Shadow Ball for the Cresselia, just for general damage on the Cresselia, just to get a little bit of chip there. It doesn't do a lot, but it's there just in case I need it. But yeah, guys, that's the team. Please leave a like and comment down below as to what you guys think, and how you think the match is gonna go. And I will see you guys in the battle that's gonna be dropping later today. Love you guys. Peace.